Welcome to the Hardcount Heroes Fantasy Show. I'm your host, Jarrett, and I am joined by Nick, Bryce, Cameron, and Dalton again. We're just coming off of Week 10 in the Fantasy League, and we're cruising into Week 11 with the trade deadline upon us, and we've had some big moves, without a doubt. It's been really active. We've had some game-changing trades go down, so stick around for that later in the show. But first, I am pleased to announce that we're opening a public Discord for community members to join. We're going to have that probably open next week, Tuesday. We have some testing to do with it, but we're looking to get that out so you guys can come in there and talk some football with us, talk about fantasy advice maybe if you want some of that, or just talk about general stuff in the league. And we're really just looking to kind of reach out with you and have conversations with you guys. So we're looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. And also the Week 11 primetime rundown is up right now. We're talking about the Packers versus the Titans, the Chiefs versus the Chargers, and the 49ers versus Cardinals. So all your primetime games. And it was me, Dalton, and Nick, so we gave all our picks. And also, we're looking to do a giveaway here on TikTok of Madden 23. Nick, if you want to go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna start doing a giveaway on our TikTok. The post should be coming up soon. It is gonna be Madden 23 for any console you want, and all you gotta do is follow and then like the post and comment whatever the direction says on the post. But we're definitely really excited to get people involved in this, and can't wait to figure out a winner.
Yeah, and we'll announce a closing date for that giveaway eventually too. So just make sure you check out the TikTok, get entered for that. I mean, hard to turn down a free Madden 23. And we're looking to make more gaming content in the off season once we get to it. So who knows? Maybe that could be a contributing factor. But that's all we got for announcements. So let's go right into the matchups for Week 10, which Nick over here is deeming the upset weekend after all the games that we had. So
It was really sad.
yeah, maybe sad for you. So the first one I want to talk about is 50 Shades of Trey, Dalton taking on Nick's Chubb, Dyson, and Dalton won this game 177.68 to 119. And Dalton, you really had a quite the game, didn't you?
Oh yeah, my players came to play, and we came to win.
I mean, it was pretty impressive. You had Justin Fields put up 37 again. That was I didn't expect him to kind of repeat a performance like that, but he ended up doing it anyways. I mean, I don't know how much rush yards he had, but it was quite a bit.
147.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been taken away from the running back stock for both Chicago running backs, Montgomery and Herbert. Cameron knows about that.
But Herbert's down and out now, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if they give Montgomery more opportunities. If Justin Fields is playing like that, though, I don't see why they would pivot away from him at all. And you had Jeff Wilson, who I talked about last week, probably being the RB1 in Miami, and he just went to prove it again, putting up 22 against Cleveland. Raheem Mostert also had a decent game, but Jeff Wilson got the bulk of the carries, and he seems like the guy to have there. So that's pretty great for you.
That was a good pickup for the Dolphins right there.
Yeah.
Let me just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And you had it go pretty well for you with Jeff Wilson, too. I bet you were probably panicking when 49ers picked up CMC, and Jeff Wilson was kind of behind Elijah Mitchell, behind CMC,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
and you're like, what do you do? Luckily, you didn't drop him. He got traded to the Dolphins, and then everything was okay.
Oh yeah, played out in the end.
Just going over some other players here. Saquon Barkley was good against Houston. He had 23. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 22 against Chicago. The only downside I see is that Dallas Goedert is put on the IR.
It's his shoulder again. Has been
Okay, with a
hurt him
shoulder
in the game.
injury. Yeah, so I think you have TJ Hawkinson, though, so I don't think you're too worried about that.
No, not really. Hawkinson should do good.
Yeah, he's a nice villain at tight end. It's just that I would hope if I was a TJ Hawkinson fantasy owner that he would start scoring some more touchdowns.
Yeah, he had that one amazing game, and then
Yeah, I heard he hasn't had a touchdown since like week 4 or something like that. So bet you're definitely looking for that.
Yeah.
But you go ahead and get the W there. You move to 4-6. Dyson drops down to 5-5. And pivoting into the next matchup, we had Double Gulp Cup. Nick take on Big Ben Sexton Cooper. And
why are we going to my game? Can we do?
We're doing your game right now. No, we're talking about your game. Nick, we all had our faith in you last week, and you lost.
Cooper Cup, man. Cooper Cup. I think it was John Wolford who was the quarterback at the time, and Cooper Cup had no action. Like, -1 yards.
And then
Really?
didn't he like break his ankle too?
Yeah, it was a high ankle sprain.
So this is it. This is downfall. That was my star player.
Josh Allen versus the Vikings was a nuts game, I will say.
Yeah,
that was
fun to watch.
probably one of the games of the year. Justin Jefferson made an unbelievable catch, and the Vikings actually beat the Bills in Buffalo. Looking at Cooper's team, Tony Pollard ran all over Green Bay like we suspected. I mean, that's been a common trend for running backs against Green Bay. Stephon Diggs had 24 in that Vikings and Bills game, and Devontae Adams was good again for 27 points. So pretty good week for Cooper. Puts him at 6-4. Nick, you go down to 8-2. Are there any concerns dropping down now?
Well, there's concerns in my lineup right now. I have Cooper Cup like gone, and I don't know when he's going to return. I think it said 4 weeks, and there's no way I'm going to get him back anytime soon. So, definitely in panic mode right now.
You also had Zach Ertz, who's now ruled out for the season.
Yeah, he is out. So he's out too. So I had 2 bad injuries on my team, and they're both out. So it's kind of panic mode here at Double Gulp Cup.
It seems like every tight end's getting hurt. Darren Waller just got placed on IR. Mark Andrews has been hurt for a while. Travis Kelce's been like the only healthy tight end.
For now.
So hopefully he stays healthy.
Nick, what's your plan for tight end?
We'll get to that.
Should have figured that out soon.
I did make a pickup, so we'll talk about that later.
He was wheeling, dealing, making some moves. Okay, so Nick, like I said, you're now at 8-2. Cooper is at 6-4. That moves us into our next matchup. Judge Judy, Cameron taking on Bryce, Watson's Massage Parlor, and what I touted last week to be a pivotal game for Bryce. And Bryce, he kind of flopped. What do you do? You know,
I mean, let's give him the credit.
Team played good.
Let's give him the credit. Let's give him the credit.
Right.
He put up 136 fantasy points. He's been lackluster all this season, and this is a really good. Like, did he lose? Yeah, he lost, but he did.
Juju got murdered. Juju is dead.
Yeah,
if that didn't happen, we'd be. I might have won by like maybe a point. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
It would have been a completely different game if Juju would have played that full game. But no, like second quarter was it? Well, he got obliterated in the second quarter, just dead. He locked up, tired than Tua, dude.
Wasn't he unconscious on the field?
He didn't even get up.
Yeah,
no, he didn't. Bad. They had to walk him out on a stretcher, dude.
On the bright side for you, Jonathan Taylor showed up, put up 24 points.
Yeah, about time.
Been a while coming for that one. So, and Jeff Saturday got a win against the Raiders. After like saying 2 weeks ago, it was all over social media, but he was saying 2 weeks ago that the Raiders look bad. He gets hired as a coach. I know we were questioning it last week, but he goes in there and he wins the game. So
good for him.
Impressive. Yeah. I mean, that's
as we all expected, right? We expected to win his first game.
That's impressive. James Conner had 2 touchdowns for you. We had some go down with that later on. We'll get into that. And looking at this game, Bryce, you're 2-8 right now. Is Bryce a lock for last, or do you think there's still an open opportunity for one of you two to go down there?
There's still a chance.
There's a last hope.
Yeah, anything can happen.
I don't know. If you can make a late season push, then you might be all right.
That'd be amazing. And another thing I'd like to bring up, Alvin Kamara also laid an egg this week.
Yeah, he was not good.
7 points. Back-to-back eggs. This week, though, he's playing the Rams, but I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah, I don't know
Rams
about
have
that
been pretty good on the run defense, but maybe they'll run it outside or they'll use him as a receiver like they did in that 40-point game he got.
Cameron's team had Pat Mahomes put up 32. Josh Jacobs played well. CeeDee Lamb with a breakout game, 38 points. So I'm sure you're probably pretty happy about that, Cameron. But we also had something go down with that. We'll get into.
I was definitely. Jeez, yeah, we had a lot going down this week, but I was definitely happy with CeeDee Lamb finally putting up his value because I took him pretty high in the draft. Yeah, second round.
Yeah. So it's good to see that he had some value pay off for him. Cameron, you won that game, so you went to also 4-6. Bryce is at 2-8. Moving into the last matchup, we had Dak to the Future, myself taking on Jordan's Nut, Greg. And Greg came into this game. He came into this game scorching hot, winning 5 games in a row.
Here comes Mr. Big
and I climbed up that fucking mountain,
Nick,
and I stabbed him with my sword and claimed my spot as the new king.
Not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. I give credit.
Claimed my spot as the new king.
Call me the fireman, bitch, because I'm putting out the flame. Feels good. So I'm on a 2-game winning streak. Everyone doubted me last week, and it feels so fucking good. You have no idea.
I mean, could you blame us though? Greg was on a winning streak.
I mean, I don't necessarily blame you at all. It's just it's one of those things where you feel good.
It's upset weekend
to go against the odds here and pick up the W. That's what it feels like.
It's because we all voted Greg that you won. All right, you only won because of us.
Oh, totally.
He had that Tom Brady mentality on his team.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like you guys split it and I beat Greg, I'd still be happy about winning. But it's just the thing that like everybody doubted you, and then you're like, okay, I need to show him what's up. And my words paid off from last show where I said that I was coming for Greg's fucking neck. I held the promise.
I had memes ready.
Yeah.
For you to lose, but hey, you got it. You got it done.
So I followed up on my word there.
Not gonna lie, Greg's team was lackluster. That was pretty sad.
It was.
Everyone just
not to discredit my win, but it was lackluster performance by him. He only put up 99 points, but I don't want to take away from the light of my team where Dak Prescott was a solid fill-in for me. He put up 21.
Yeah.
Hey,
Justin Jefferson and Christian Kirk.
Different story.
I think that's bullshit. Joe Mixon's been good.
Joe Mixon
really
had
good
one
once
good game.
this week, or once this year. Yeah, where he put up 55.
Yeah.
So I don't think Joe Mixon is going to do that every week. I mean, do I think he's a good running back? He's all right, but he only had one super breakout game like that. So yeah, but Justin Jefferson and Christian Kirk carried for me. Cordell Patterson was a bust. He only put up 3 points, and he didn't really get that much playing time. On the contrary, Greg had Tyler Algier, who only had about like 3 points or something. He was also a bust. And he honestly had a bunch of people on his team not play too well. Donta Foreman was a nice surprise for him with 19. But his hot streak's over. All right. So he's back down to 5-5. I go up to 6-4. And this kind of
changes standings.
Yeah, it really changes the landscape of the league here. So after week 10, that was all our matchups. The playoff picture is looking like this. We have Nick in first place at 8-2, myself in second place at 6-4, Cooper in third at 6-4, Dyson hanging on to fourth place at 5-5, Greg's in fifth place at 5-5, and then you got people knocking on the door. You got Judge Judy, Cameron at 4-6 in sixth place, and then again in seventh place you got Dalton, who's 4-6 in seventh place, and then Bryce is at 2-8 on the bottom. But honestly, those last 3 teams, I think that could go either way, because I don't think Bryce is necessarily a lock for last. It's just that if they lose 2 games or they lose some games and Bryce wins, he's right back in the mix of not last place. But I think
if it happens the other way, then Bryce is definitely going to be wearing
if Cameron and Dalton can both get a win, or actually, I think they're playing each other, so that ain't going to happen. But one of them
play each other this
week.
This is a crucial matchup.
One of them can elevate themselves out of the bottom, and they can get them like into the playoff mix. I wouldn't necessarily count them out of the playoff mix. I just think it makes it a little more interesting.
Probability.
Oh, definitely. So with week 11 being the trade deadline, after all the games are done, that's when the trade deadline hits. And we've had a lot of moves so far and some very pivotal game-changing moves happen lately. So the first trade that we had go down, myself, I sent DeAndre Swift and a 2023 fifth-round pick to Bryce in exchange for James Conner and a 2023 10th-round pick. So the move there, I know Bryce is trying to sell right now so he can get some good draft capital for next year. I took a look at his team, and James Conner was coming off a good game, and they just traded away Benjamin so his stock is up. And I felt like James Conner might be able to stay on the ride like that. And I was kind of weary about DeAndre Swift. I felt really good about him when I first traded for him, but it seems like they're going with Jamal Williams. So I needed to make a move, and I'm satisfied with what I got. And I would say, Bryce, you're probably satisfied with getting a fifth-round pick out of it.
Yeah, it's the fifth-round pick. It's still it's late because of how many people we're going to have in the league next year. But it is still really, really good, no matter what. DeAndre Swift, I feel like they like to give it to him, but he laid an egg for him one time, and now they're like, you got to earn it again, and they're
It's
not
kind of
giving
like
him
a
chance
split
to earn
backfield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Detroit
he's
right
been
now.
on and off with injuries all year. So I think they're trying to get him back in the work. There's still a chance for him to get a larger workload towards the back half of the season or the end of the season. But right now it's just not necessarily there, and I'm trying to generate some space right now. So I feel like James Conner was kind of a win now move. But I also got a 10th round pick out of it. And then that leads me to the next move we had, which I then, after that trade, had 3 10th round picks for next year after I made a trade earlier in the year with Cameron where I got his 10th round. So I decided to trade 2 of my 10th round picks to Nick for a 7th round draft pick next year. So kind of I went for quality over quantity there. And obviously, Nick, you don't have a large quantity of draft picks, so you needed quantity. So we made a little swap there. I think it worked out for both of us. Nick, how do you feel about that? You've like the extra 2 10th round picks
I just
there?
need draft picks. I just need fucking draft picks, man.
Yeah,
I just need a team next year. I just need a team that doesn't go and become Bryce's team next year. So
Hey, all right, we started off rocky.
Might be too late.
All right? We started off rocky, and you know what? We're gonna pull through in the next year.
Try to finish strong
here, folks.
Oh,
Finish
next year,
strong.
yeah.
No, save it for next year, buddy.
Hey, there you go. Already load them up for
If
next
I'm
year.
last this year, that means I have good draft position next year.
Your
and I'm gonna
draft
do my
position will be
research
pretty
next
good.
year. I didn't do
time
research
for-
for shit this year.
time for a
And
rebuild.
clearly it's showing. Okay, it's showing this year. Next year, all new me, baby.
Hey, there you go. I like that attitude. I like that mentality. Reset for next year. Clean slate. Ready to rock.
Rebuild.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let's talk the third move we had then. Cameron, you traded for Devontae Adams and a 2023 8th round pick, and Cooper received CeeDee Lamb off his hot game and a 14th round pick from you. So what was the move there?
Well, I didn't even make this move. Cooper sent me this trade because I put CeeDee Lamb on the trade block. CeeDee Lamb had a really good game this week, but he's not consistent. I get Devontae Adams, who is currently the wide receiver 5 in sleeper leagues right now, and I get some better draft capital. I just like the move. I mean, even if I don't go anywhere, I have better draft capital now.
I like it. Yeah. I think it's a good move. So hopefully that benefits you. And then you also made another move. You traded with Dalton here, and you received Deontay Johnson and an 8th round pick, and Dalton received Curtis Samuel. So what's both of your thoughts on that move?
I just wanted more draft capital for next year. Deontay Johnson really hasn't done much this season. Not a single touchdown yet, but I'm hoping they're coming. I mean, his stock has risen since Chase Claypool's gone now, so we'll see what happens there. And I didn't really have much of a use for Curtis Samuel. He was just sitting on my bench anyway.
That's true.
I tried giving Cameron a lower round pick, but he wouldn't take it. But 8th is the only one I'm losing for next year, and Curtis Samuel's more consistent than Deontay has been this year. So I'm hoping he can tie some loose ends on my team to get me farther up the rest of the season.
Hopefully. Yeah, I think it's a solid move. Worked out pretty well. So we still have a couple more days till the trade deadline, so we'll try to keep everyone updated on that. But that was the moves we just had recently coming into it. And next week, we're not going to have time for it in this show, but next week I do plan to talk about potential keepers for each of us. So we'll talk about that next week. So if you want to hear about that, tune into next week's show. Maybe you can get some advice from it. And let's move into the waiver wire ads then. So we had a lot of claims go down, it looked like. Let's run over Cooper's moves quick, just since he's not here. Tyler Higbee, he picked up, dropped Darren Waller because he's on IR. Picked up Evan McPherson again, dropped Matt Gay. And he picked up Christian Watson. Now, I want to talk about this one. He picked up Christian Watson and he dropped the Rams defense. He was the only person to have a claim in for Christian Watson. I was thinking about it. I didn't even put a claim in for him, though, because I figured everyone else would. So what's the non-appealing thing about Christian Watson?
I'll have to say that he is young, and I watch him play. Well, we all watch him play, except for Cameron over there. He's a Broncos fan. We all watch him play for Green Bay, and he's not consistent. Okay, he's had many opportunities. And he drops the damn ball. I swear to God, the kid has butterfingers, dude. Looks like he got converted from tight end to receiver. No, not last week. He must have had some pine tar on the hands or something, dude. Or rub it in the gloves. He was snagging everything. He must have took the old butterfingers out and put on some pine tar and said, I got to be star this week.
Well, what I will say,
inconsistent.
What I saw from Christian Watson last week is that he made a lot of the big like open catches he made, like the downfield catches where he wasn't really that contested where it was there. But like anytime he had a little bit of traffic on him, a little bit of congestion, it looked like he had trouble catching the ball. So he's fast, he's big, he can make plays, but he just doesn't look like he can handle the ball when he's being contested. So that's definitely something to work on.
Is pretty strong right now, passing wise. They're definitely gonna watch him this weekend.
Yeah, I think he's not too bad. I just think he has a lot.
It's not a bad pickup, but it's he's not a safe. He's not as consistent.
If you're in a deeper league, I think definitely pick him up. I mean, even in this league, 8-man, if you can stash him on your bench, why not? Maybe he becomes something big. But I just want to get our hopes up too much after a 32-point game. So that's Christian Watson, and that's the moves of Cooper. Then we'll run down Dyson's moves quick. Picked up Allen Robinson, dropped Darnell Mooney, and then he picked up Cole Kmet. Sneaky good move there, and dropped Evan Ingram. So then we'll look at Dalton's move. You picked up the Patriots defense to drop the Giants defense. I like that Patriots defense pickup. Against the Jets, we'll see how they do, but
it's a 50-50 shot.
We've been the number one defense in the league, so I'm just saying that. They're the number one ranked defense in the sleeper app.
It doesn't always mean everything, so
it's true. It is.
I'm taking a risk and hoping it pays off.
Yeah. So then I'll talk about my moves quick. I originally picked up Cairo Santos and dropped Jason Myers because Jason Myers had a bye week, but then I dropped Cairo Santos and I picked up Nick Folk because he was available, and I think he's like the number 4 kicker in sleeper rankings right now. And Nick Folk was really good last year for Dalton, so I'm hoping some of that magic kind of rubs off on me. We'll see how it goes.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, there we go. And then I also picked up Rashad White and dropped Greg Dulcich. It looks like Mark Andrews is going to come back this week, and already have Mark Andrews, so I don't really have a use for Dulcich. And it looks like Rashad White is getting the bulk of the carries in the Buccaneers backfield, especially since Leonard Fournette is hurt now. And he had more carries than Fournette versus the Seahawks. So hopefully he can become a young star. I'm going to stash him on my bench, and then he's going to be a good running back depth. That was my moves. Then Cameron's moves. you went ahead and you picked up the Steelers defense and dropped James Robinson. And then you picked up, I don't even know how to say this guy's name, Kaimi Fairburn.
I
Was that
guess.
close?
I
Was that close at all?
did it about as good as I could do.
Kicker. Don't like the young Hoku train anymore or what?
He hasn't been putting up consistent points.
Fair enough.
He had 1 point last week versus Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
another thing I'd like to say. I just thought about this back to my matchup. Sorry. My kicker, T. Bass, had 13 points.
Oh, Tyler Bass.
And
went
I don't
off.
remember how many points my defense had, but they had a lot of points too for a defense.
So Greg's moves. He picked up Kyle Pitts again after dropping him last week. None of us took him. And then he dropped Gerald Everett. And then he also picked up Cameron Dicker and then dropped Ryan Suckup, but then he dropped Cameron Dicker for Harrison Bucker, which I honestly don't like that move because
I just
Harrison
stayed with
Bucker is ranked 32nd.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs score a lot of touchdowns, so they don't necessarily get as much
I
field
don't know
goal
what's going on.
opportunities.
But if you look at the Cameron Dicker thing, he was moved back to the practice squad.
was
So
he? Oh, well, there you go. Okay. Then Nick, I'm gonna let you explain your moves because you always do this so fucking complicated that you drop a bunch of people
What?
at first and then you add people, but then you drop another person, you add someone, and so I'm gonna let you explain your
It's
moves.
justifiable. Okay. All right. So what I did this week is remove Zach Ertz. It's kind of obvious why. Drop the Chiefs and drop Kirk Cousins. The drop for Kirk Cousins. I don't know who I traded. Was that Dalton?
Yeah, you traded with me for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, so you won that trade because I dropped him anyways. So I picked up Dalton Schultz. I think he's a pretty good tight end to have. Darius Slayton and the Commanders D. So the reason why I picked up Slayton, they're playing against Detroit. Detroit's defense is okay. I definitely think he can be that consistent wide receiver. His last 3 games have been really good. It's 14, 11, and 18. So imagine what he can do against the Lions. So that's why I picked him up. Definitely concerning on my roster right now with injuries and all that, but we'll see.
You're pretty much a lock for the playoffs already, so maybe
Yeah.
the playoff concerns of winning the whole thing is what you're
At
up in
this
arms
point,
about.
At this point, it's just playoffs. I don't care if I start losing now. I'm already up there. I know I'm getting a playoffs position. I gotta focus on what's the future right now because I'm losing players. I know some of these players won't play near the end of the weeks because possible playoff positions and all that, and they don't want to risk injuring their star players because that's pretty much what I have right now. I have star players.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that about wraps up the waiver wire moves. And we'll get right into the week 11 matchup predictions. And just to give everyone a idea of how we've done so far with predicting, I am 11 and 10. Dyson is 0 and 3, who's not with us. Nick is 9 and 12. Dalton is 5 and 7. Bryce is 8 and 10, and Cameron is 7 and 8. So obviously we're not hitting too well. But we'll change that this week. We'll get it done. So the first matchup we'll talk about is Back to the Future versus Big Ben Sexton. I'm going to go in and tout this as the game of the week. Both teams at 6 and 4 kind of fight for second place right here. So looking at this matchup, I got a good matchup with Lamar taking on Carolina and Olave taking on the Rams. But I have a lot of people on bye this week, so I honestly don't have that high of hopes for my team this week. I have Travis Etienne, Rashad White, Chris Godwin, and Christian Kirk, who have almost all been crucial players for me on bye. So honestly, if he's telling me I'm going to lose, I'm not going to be that upset about it because I expect to lose this week anyways. I'm hoping for James Conner to have a good game. Marky Mark's going to be back. Hopefully he balls. And Garrett Wilson, before he had his bye last week, he's had some really good games, but they're playing a tough Patriots defense. But the last time they played the Patriots, he put up 17. So we're hoping for that. Cooper has some favorable matchups. So let's start with Cameron. What do you think?
I'm gonna just keep it plain and simple this week. I'm going to Jarrett.
All right. Dalton, what do you have?
I'm going to go with you as well. I think your team's going to be able to pull it off a little bit more than Cooper's team can.
All right. What do we got, Bryce?
Oh fuck, bud. You bud. I'm gonna go with you this week.
Yeah, all right. Nick, what do you have?
I made a mistake of going against you last week, and I really like your team right now. Cooper's been pretty disappointing, so I'm gonna have to go with Jarrett.
Oh fuck, man. Now the opposite's gonna happen. Now the opposite's gonna happen.
Yeah, we
That's
got
why
you.
I was thinking
We
about
fucking
voting
got
Cooper
you.
We got
because I
you
knew
this
everyone
time.
else was gonna vote Cooper, but I'm like, fuck. Join the bandwagon.
Oh, all right. Well,
We got you.
I
We
believe I
fucking
quoted
got you.
this in like the first or second episode, but prepare to be disappointed once again. So,
You gonna prove us wrong, Jarrett?
yeah, I probably will prove you wrong and lose. But that's that matchup. The next matchup we'll talk about is another pivotal matchup, or Judge Judy taking on 50 Shades of Trey, Cameron versus Dalton. Looks like this is kind of the game, like we were talking about before, to decide who's going to be down towards the bottom and who's going to be in the playoff mix. Looking at this matchup, honestly, most of you guys don't have that favorable of matchups anyways, except for, I think, Saquon Barkley versus Detroit and Derrick Henry versus Green Bay is an even split.
I would say Justin Fields versus Atlanta is pretty good too.
Yeah, that's pretty good as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the hot hand right now, Dalton, with 177 points again. So I'll hop on the Dalton bandwagon and hopefully he wins this game.
Ah, shit.
I think this one will probably be the closest game of the week, though, because Cameron's team has also been very good. It's just kind of a toss-up for me, but I'm going to go with Dalton. So what do you have, Nick?
I don't like Cameron. I'm going with Dalton.
Oh. Fucking
Ew.
Christ.
Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you,
Cold
Nick.
shoulder. Wow.
Okay.
Plus, I like Justin Fields against Atlanta. So
What do you have, Bryce?
Cameron kicked my ass last week, but I have good excuses for that, so I'm gonna go with Dalton.
Fuck.
yeah,
Great. Yeah, I think that matchup might be the closest. Let's talk about the next one. Watson's Massage Parlor taking on Nick's Chubb. Bryce, you are taking on Dyson. You come in at a 2-8. Dyson comes in at 5-5. He's on a 3-game losing streak though, and you're probably looking to turn around. So is him. Both of
Yeah.
This could
both of you
also
guys
be
got
a
some
pretty
favorable
close matchup.
matchups. Yeah, I think this one might be pretty close. Nick, who do you think's gonna win this?
I'm going to go with Bryce. I want him out of that last
Oh,
place
shit.
position.
Cameron, who do you have?
I'm gonna go with Dyson.
All right, gotcha. And then Dalton, who do you have?
I gotta go with Bryce.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm gonna split the
Pressure's
field
on.
here, and I'm gonna go with Dyson. I think Bryce is in kind of a sell now mode, and if he does happen
I
to
only
make another
sold one
trade,
player.
yeah, I feel like if you do move another player, though, it might solidify it. So maybe you might not move a player now just because I said that. But
Well, no one wants to take anybody.
I'm banking on the
everybody
Bryce
Anyone got
wants-
tank,
any offers?
and I'm gonna go with Dyson here. Snap that 3-game losing streak he has. So then the
I'm
final
looking
game.
to snap the 2.
Yeah, there you go. The final game we have this week is Nick taking on Greg, so double golf cup versus Jordan's Nut. Josh Allen is questionable.
I see a lot
Jamal
of
Williams
cues.
is questionable. Devonta Smith is questionable. Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
No Cooper Kupp, huh? No Kenneth Walker this week. Greg's getting back Joe Mixon and Ramondre Stevenson this week. I'm gonna go against you, Nick. Here, I'm gonna pick Greg.
Yeah, no, I'd go against me too. It's
Because,
it's been sad.
I mean, for an 8-2 team, you've had some injuries, and that's kind of an issue. And just looking, no, none of these players are necessarily bad players, but just seeing like
I just need
Jamal
Christian McCaffrey
Williams,
to pull it up like 55.
Joshua
Or
Palmer,
Joe Mixon.
Darius Slayton. I mean, none of those are necessarily bad players, but in an 8-man league, you would hope for bigger names than that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Greg. Bryce, what do you have?
Me? Well,
Yes, you.
Nick voted for me, so I feel like I gotta vote for him. So I'm gonna vote for Nick this week.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Cameron, what do you have?
Oh, we already know. Just go on into Dalton. Let's go to Dalton.
It's Greg. It's Greg. Because you know why?
Oh.
Fuck Nick.
no,
That's
Yeah,
why.
no, fuck you.
no shit.
I made
We
it
all knew
too.
that.
Yeah, could have predicted that one. Dalton, what do you have?
Oh, shocker.
I'm gonna have to go with Greg on this one. He might have lost last week, but he does have Mixon back. He does have Stevenson back, so I think he's gonna be able to put up some more points.
Bryce, I won't disappoint you.
That's my boy.
You the TikTok clip
Or
right
not
now.
disappoint me.
I
Yeah,
will
you better clip
do
that
my
for a
very best,
TikTok.
Dad.
Yeah, fire up the Curb Your Enthusiasm music. Boom, 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 boom.
Or it goes the other way. So I'm ready. I'm
Or it's
ready.
gonna go the other way. And
You know
then
what?
Nick's
No,
gonna be
Cocky
like,
Nick's back. Cocky
Oh,
Nick is
shut
back.
the
We're
fuck
bringing
up.
it back.
Oh shit!
What
Look
did
you
we
guys
do?
started. Look
You know
what
what?
you
Yeah.
started
He's
up
gonna go
again.
Cocky
Cocky
Nick
Nick
is back with
is
Jamal
8-0.
Williams, Devontae Smith, Rondale Moore, Joshua Palmer.
Weren't
and
you
Darius
cocky last
Slayton.
week and you've lost?
Well, that's because I lost Cooper Cup. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I
You
don't
don't
know.
have him this week, so what's the difference?
I remember
Yeah.
you
So
exclaiming
What's
that
the
Cocky Nick was
difference?
back last week and you lost. So
yeah, if I didn't lose Cooper Cup, I would have won. That was a pretty
So-
sad
monster.
watching
is-
game.
Hey, I want to hear this answer. Is Cocky Nick still undefeated?
oh,
No, Cocky
He's
Nick
not.
is 8-1.
Yeah.
Well, Cocky Nick is 8-1, while regular Cameron and Judge Judy is 4-6. So
Cocky Nick's
Hey,
not
I'm
a bum ass team
4-6.
next year.
The hell?
That's all right. If we flip my score
Yeah.
backwards, I'm 8-2 too.
Nick.
So.
Goes off the streets next year.
Positive
So
outlook here, folks.
Cocky Nick's team next year is gonna be full of a bunch of fucking grocery baggers and
as long
plumbers.
as I'm not last, that's all that matters.
Fucking Nick's gonna pick Kyle from the local gas station
As quarterback,
to be his quarterback.
give me some druggy as my wide receiver, and
You're gonna go search around for.
then I'm
some
gonna have my
druggies?
keeper, who's gonna be Josh Allen. So
Well, there you go.
oh, spoiler alert!
Spoiler. Hey, save it for next episode.
There's
Damn it.
There's your tease for the week,
Someone's gonna
folks.
censor
There's
that.
the tease.
Yeah, there you go. The tease for next week. Okay.
you got to censor that.
We'll see if that's within my capability. Okay. Well, I think that about wraps up our show for this week. We're going into week 11. So the trade deadline is important. Okay. And we're really going to figure out a bunch of interesting stuff about the league this week. This is kind of a big determiner, I would say. So that about wraps up this episode. Make sure you check out the Discord once we get it up. We'll have a post up about that. So please join that. Come talk to us. We're lonely.
Please.
Come talk with
Yeah.
us.
Please.
Please.
Do that and then look out for the giveaway. We're going to do that soon as well. And then watch Primetime Rundown and look at our picks for that. Maybe you can talk shit about our picks on the Discord.
It's fine. I'm already used to it.
I'm okay with it. Yeah. All right. What's everyone's last words?
Remember, whenever you're angry and upset, just punch a pillow and cry on it.
Find words from
I
a
feel like that was Nick
That's gonna
last
be
week.
It's gonna be Nick next year. Jesus Christ.